something inside me said, basically, is sixth grade going to happen again, and then this sport's done, or are you gonna make a different choice and rise to the occasion?
Yeah,
really. So I'm curious, when you get a new client, like, what goes on for you internally?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like, do you still have anxiety over that? And how do you handle it? Yeah.
I don't think I really have anxiety over getting a new client. I think there's a little of like pregame jitters, when you go into a new situation, because you don't know. Like today, I talked to him on the phone. I don't even know what the owner looks like.
Gotcha.
And so I'm like, all right, here we go. And it's an interesting relationship because there's a lot of skepticism in the team, usually.
Yeah.
Because usually I build a rapport with the business owner,
right? And
then when they're bringing me in, they're like, okay, well, who's this guy? Like, how is he going to tell us what we need to know or whatever? And so it's a lot of like, you got to build rapport pretty fast. And it's fun for me because every time I go into a new team, I love figuring out the people dynamics, right? Like even just the widget thing I was telling you about. Like it's fun to look at a team and just kind of figure out, okay, who are the key players, who are the key influencers, and what things, who's not speaking up that should, who's talking more than they should, all those different things. But really, it's trying to help like find cohesion. Because when I go in, a big thing that people are like, well, you're here to tell us that we're doing our job or you're going to make us more efficient or whatever. I'm like, no, my goal is to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Because right now, I don't think that everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like not everybody's on the same page. There's no unified direction. And as soon as we can like have that happen so that people are actually rowing in the same direction and you're moving towards a common objective, then it doesn't seem like these random tasks. There's not just randomized stuff that we have to do just because we have to do it. This is all intentional. And now we're actually putting intention behind work we do. And that's what's going to propel us forward. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, getting a new client's always fun because I only...
A little adrenaline rush?
When I first get, not really. I think at the beginning, yes. It's a sales thing. It's a bit of a sales rush. If you've ever been in a sales situation where you're like, yeah, got him. I closed the deal, like whatever, right? And more and more, it's kind of
I'm just thinking more like uncharted territory. Like I haven't, I've never seen this guy's face. I don't know his team.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. No, not really adrenaline. It's kind of it's, I don't know. Pre-game jitters is probably a better way to put it. Mostly because it's just like, I don't know. I've never faced this opponent, or I don't know how this is going to look. But that as soon as right, it's gay, right? I mean, played sports. As soon as it's like the whistle blows, and then you're just like, okay, I'm locked in. Yeah. Like, here we go. Yeah. Like now we're going. Or even did I say that I'm playing on worship teams and stuff?
You said that you tried out.
I did try out,
and apparently you made it.
Apparently I made it. Yeah. It was so funny. It was fun. And so I played. Wasn't last Sunday, but the Sunday before, and it's really funny because that was a part of. It's a part of my life that most people in Oregon don't know, that I play music, because I haven't played music in front of people in a long time. And so they live streamed it, and at the church and stuff like that. And I'm running like lead lines and stuff. And my cousin was like, "You're actually good." I played a long time. That's the same thing. Like, you get on stage and if you've never done that before, it's terrifying. Like the first time you get up in front of people and you're like, okay, I'm a musician. I'm going to perform in front of people. But you do it enough times that you're just like, okay, like you walk on stage, a little like pregame jitter, and then you're just like, okay, in-ears on, guitar set, tuned, all right, go, and just game. So it's kind of the same. Yeah, it was with, today, and it'll be true on Friday too. Again, because I built some rapport and I kind of know who this person is a little bit, that when I jump in, it's going to be, it's a little bit of that like, all right, here we go. And then it's like, then it's just, we're here, we're locked in. It's game time. And we just make it happen. But
you have your I don't know if it's like mental routines that you go through once you start getting into the mix.
Yeah,
kind of like, okay, the way the way you described pregame jitters is the way I would describe, when I put my hand in the dirt and I haven't, I got a big dude right in front of me, haven't done anything, and as soon as I hit him, I go, oh yeah,
okay, we're here.
I know exactly what I got to do.
Yeah,
I know the game plan for the week. I know what I got to execute.
Yeah,
right.
And
it's just, but there's always just kind of that little pregame jitter at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if do you ever get over
Dude,
it?
I don't know. I don't. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if you've done it, a million times versus, thousands. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of fun. I think for me too, it's also because when I go in, I guess it's true with anything. Like we talked about this last week, where there's so much preparation that goes into it that by the time you show up, even like you're saying, like hands in the dirt, but then as soon as you go, you're like, oh, okay, like I'm prepared for this.
Yeah.
It would be different.
Memory comes back.
Yeah, it'd be different if you weren't.
Right.
But it's the same way I always have for me. That's why I love sending people over. Like, here's what we're going through today. If it's going to be exactly in that order of the agenda, I don't know. But these are the things we're going to cover. And are there things I can throw out? Sure. Are there things I can enter in? Yeah. But this is it's more of like, here's the, no pun intended, right? Here's the framework. Here's generally where we're going.
Yeah.
And this is the things we want to accomplish today. And then based on once we strum that first chord, you hit that guy for the first time, then it's like, oh, now we got to adjust. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But so I think that's it. It's just kind of a little bit of the unknown. But as soon as I jump in, then it's just a matter of going. And it's different every time because everybody's unique and every team is unique and every team dynamic is unique. It's like its own living organism. Like this team of people is its own interesting, thing. Which would be true because it's true. I mean, like you see this probably in the school too, is you could have the same mixture of students, but you insert a different teacher, it can be a totally different classroom. Or you have the same teacher, but you insert a different group of students, it can be a different classroom too. Each dynamic, like each people dynamic in a group like that is just different enough that it's you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be very aware of those differences. You can't just treat every situation as exactly the same,
right,
and copy paste as much as we'd like to, because that's just not how people are.
Yeah.
So, and then that's not how
unique.
Yeah, and that's not how team dynamics are too, which is another piece too. I think that people are just like, oh, okay, well, I've done it this way, and then this is how these people respond. It's like, yeah, those people responded because they were naturally more like you, right? Which is why I love getting into. We're getting into annual planning sessions coming up, and I love getting into like the Kersey model and like the widget thing, 6 types of working genius. Because if we can synthesize all those different things together and realize, okay, these are the strengths that this person has that this person doesn't have, and so instead of being like, man, how come you can't all be like this person? It's like, no, we need it. We need this team to make things happen.
Yeah,
we just don't have them in the right spot. Right. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, they could have kept you as a punter, but it was good that they put you on the D-line.
This is true.
In the same way, you don't want me on the D-line for sure. But I'd probably be a good kicker.
Yeah, you probably would.
Yeah.
Soccer guy.
Yeah.
No, speaking of football, man, we got a big rivalry this week, Cat Grizz week.
Dude, so. I'm excited about it.
Oh, man, I'm always excited about Cat Grizz. We got a lot of teachers. Well, one in particular, the vice principal and I.
Yeah.
We got this like. He's got his Grizz gear on, and it's like, gosh, you got dirt on your shirt there. Actually, the whole thing is dirty. Probably should throw that away. But he'll come back with something, some wisecrack.
Yeah.
Joke back my way, but
that's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean it's at the same time I also we crack jokes, but he always gets to the point where he kind of asks me about like deep football knowledge.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did he play?
Just a little bit. No, he didn't.
Oh,
he didn't play, but he knows I played.
Oh, okay.
And so, I feel like he comes asks to ask me questions from like an experience. Like,
yeah.
You've done this before. Like, so what is it like when you're like down there? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I bet it's loud. Yeah, it's pretty. And I give him some like, low energy answer. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Tell me, like, what is it like? I'm like, I mean, it's hard to hear sometimes, but
Yeah.
But when I played them, we beat them
Every
after
time?
16. After 16 years, we beat them. It was pretty quiet.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's in Bozeman this year, right?
It's in Missoula.
Oh, it's in Missoula.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Back then, when I played in 2002, when I played them for the first time, and I started, it was. They were, planning on making another playoff run. They just won. I believe they just won the state, or not the state. They just won the championship. I think, or they went to the championship game. I can't remember, but they were a good team.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to just get, ran over. Even although we made a lot of improvements, and we were like one of the best defenses in the Big Sky. I don't think anybody outside of our locker room really believed that we were going to win. We did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the game. I think the outcome is going to be bad. I think the Cats will roll over them pretty good, even though they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I just think that our team is just better.
It looked pretty good against UC Davis. Yeah. It was good. So, it's so funny in Oregon because like I did this last year and I walked in, to the pit where all the sales guys and sport guys are at. I was like, "Did you guys hear?" They're like, "What?" I'm like, "The big game," and everybody's like, "Ohio, Oregon." I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, "The big game." I'm like, "The Brawl of the Wild." And everybody's like, "What?" except for my one friend Brandon who grew up in Great Falls. He goes, "Oh yeah." Sweet. Like, I got you. Anyway,
Sweet.
So funny. So.
Yeah. I mean, they're sprinkled everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I remember one year we were in San Diego, and my buddies were like, "Man, we got to go to this bar because they got a huge Brawl of the Wild game over there. Like, there's a lot of people that go." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, it's a thing. Like I looked it up. Yeah, Portland's got.
They got their own.
They got their own. A bunch of people show up. I mean, obviously, same with Seattle. Seattle has a big turnout as well. But we're close enough to Montana that it makes sense. There's enough expats that live over there. So
yeah, we. I mean, when you got, was it last year? Yeah, last year College Game Day was there.
Yeah,
in Bozeman.
Yeah,
what I mean, when you have something like that coming in, man, we only dreamt of things like that when I played.
Yeah,
dude, it's just crazy how far we've come as a how far they've come as a program.
Yeah,
it's just really exciting.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So
yeah. It should be a fun game. Yeah, and the Vigilantes wrapped up. So
Vigilantes wrapped up. Yeah, they were a really good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they are back-to-back state champs again.
Yeah. How is it mostly seniors?
A lot of points.
Or how do they look next year?
Well, they had a lot of seniors. They also have a lot of juniors.
Okay. So it'll be a good program next year too.
They'll always be a good program. Because and I don't like to use this as an excuse, but when you can recruit your players in the biggest town in the state, I mean, you can't. There's some advantages that you have, right?
Yeah. We got the same thing where I live. Santiam Christian. Yeah.
Same thing. They recruit
everybody over. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So but I like that challenge though.
Yeah.
I think if it ends up being us and them again, and we come in and roll on them, like victory will feel a little more sweeter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you just know that you beat a really good team.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they rolled this next team pretty big too.
Yeah.
Nice. They're good. Well, they got one of their guys is going. They're that wide receiver. They have a wide receiver that absolutely, man. There's watching film. I saw in real time where he kind of took the play outside, an outside zone play, and our safety came in to try to tackle, and he did this like spin move, and like our safety was on his knees, like,
Oh,
I was
man.
like, oh my gosh. Even the coach that saw it from
The booth?
the booth up
Yeah.
there, he is just like, oh my goodness. It was bad.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, this guy's good.
Yeah.
And he was a former Grizzly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A pretty good one too. So he's like, I mean, I'm really glad that he's going to be in Missoula, but right now, that guy sucks, man. I didn't want him to do that. It's like, what can you do? They just had some really good players. Like, you know, we do too, but we just didn't. I don't know. We just didn't. We didn't rise to the occasion.
Really? Oh,
yeah. Okay. I felt that there's something about playing Billings Central that kind of gets our team all like flustered mentally, and not because they're a physical team, and we have to match that physicality to the point where we match it, and then we go over, we outmatch it. You know what I mean? And it just didn't.
So this is a weird question because I don't know football that well in terms of like playing it.
Yeah.
But what key positions are there that are really like the difference makers? I mean, everybody talks about the quarterback, but I would imagine like on defense, there's probably like key players on the defense that totally, like, if you've got that key playmaker, it totally changes the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a position more than we call them dogs. Okay. Just a straight up dog. Like, they just want to go and make every play. Perseverance, right? Like,
I see.
You need those. You need playmakers. Yeah. So not positions, playmakers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person is just like, just keep feeding me. Like, we're just gonna all day. We're gonna do this all day.
They did that. I mean, pretty much 13. They got a really good play that just gashes us. It's just it's a fullback trap play where it hits hard. Basically, the quarterback turns and it's like hitting the hole already. Yeah, it's something where you have to be really physical at the line, and your tackling has to be good. And it just wasn't. Our tackling just wasn't good. And we have a dog. You know, we have dogs on our team. You know, we just needed more. They just had more. Yeah, you know what I mean. And to me, it feels like football. If you're the more physical and aggressive team, you're gonna win, right? You're just gonna flat out win, because when you out physical someone and you're aggressive and you play hard, and when you're playing a team that is not that way, you break them. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think we had those characteristics as a team. It's just, they just outplayed us, and kind of, in a way, we just kind of broke. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So now I'm going like full circle. What about a time when you played ball and I don't know, because of that, I'm thinking back to the thing about perseverance, and it's okay. Yeah. So now give me a story of Ray when you didn't want to. Yeah. Right. When you were getting outmatched, but then something like, there's another gear inside that you're like, okay, I turned it on, and then I came back. Right. Yeah. And then perseverance.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I never really had that, because I was gonna play you. We're gonna go. Okay. Actually, let me rewind that. Maybe I could probably take you back to more like my high school days. Sure. Yeah. Because I didn't play football, like really play football, until my freshman year in high school. Okay. So there's I lacked a lot of, technical skills, like understanding the game. I had a lot of those things kind of going against me. And the last time I played it, I lived in Guam, and my dad made me play it. I was big for my age, so I had to like go up a level. Oh. Yeah. And I remember this kid. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I was a grade lower. He was also bigger than me, and he would just eat my lunch every time we lined up, and I just I just felt defeated.
Yeah,
and that like stuck with me, and that was probably 6th grade.
Okay,
and that stuck with me, and I just didn't play football until my freshman year, until 3 years later.
Yeah,
and I still had that. I still remembered it.
Yeah,
Right. It stuck with me, and then I still remember the kid's name that was eating my lunch all the time too, because I got thrown into the fire again. My size was a factor in me moving up.
So like, oh, he's good because he's big.
Yeah, he's good because he's big. We need a guy there. We need a body. He's huge. He's big. And I really wasn't, but I was adequate for what they were looking for. The guy's name was Arthur Dong. But anyways, he made me feel like I was 6th grade again. Yeah, like that. To where I kind of did not enjoy it, but something switched inside of me that said, I don't want to feel like I did in 6th grade.
What was that?
Maybe it was a sense of pride.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was that. You were challenging my, I don't know, my masculinity or whatever it was. And something inside me said, basically, is 6th grade gonna happen again, and then this sport's done, or are you gonna make a different choice and rise to the occasion?
Yeah,
really. So I made it in practice after I got my butt whooped for half the practice, and I don't know, I just got tired of it. And he beat me one time, and then I said, line back up. And the coach was like, oh, okay. And this is when the inner aggression became outward aggression too. And so he did his bull rush where he just comes straight at me to try to teach me a lesson. And I stuck my face right under his chin, and I drove him, and I planted him. Nice. And I said, we're done with all that. And he was a junior.
Yeah.
And I was a freshman.
Yeah.
And I said, we're done.
Yeah.
That ain't happening anymore. You're not going to go through me like that anymore, Arthur. We're done.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, respect, man, respect.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I would say too, I also watched other guys. I think that was a good advantage too. I started to figure out who are dogs out there.
Oh, okay.
And I watched this guy. His name was Will Harris, big black dude, man. And he was another one that ate my lunch a lot.
Yeah.
But I understood why, because he was a physical specimen.
He's a real dude, yeah.
Real dude. And I would just watch how aggressive he was, and I just started to try to mimic it, and boy, it just felt really good. And finally, I've watched it enough to where, okay, I got to put this into action, and that's what I did. And from that point on, when it comes to having a war on the football field, I was always ready. Did I have jitters? Yeah, of course, because that's how it is. You just don't. There's just still an element of unpredictability that's still there, but you've been planning the whole time. You understand, but you still need to.
So got to get hit.
How's this guy going to react? How's he going to take the stuff that I prepared for this guy?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah.
What I would say I persevered the most in was my education. That would be where I really struggled.
You had to dig deep for that one.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I had to.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I have dreams about how I felt when it comes to poor habits and being behind in school and not understanding what's going on, especially in college. Like I have nightmares about. Oh, I gotta turn the paper in.
Oh man.
Oh, I forgot to read that. Or stats again.
But you made it through, which is so funny
through.
because obviously I didn't know you in college, and then I was like, "Hey, you should read a book," and you're like, "Yeah, I don't really do that." You know?
I remember that conversation, dude.
Then when you're like, "I'm gonna go back to school," it's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you, man.
Yeah,
like that's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah, I would say that's a when we're talking about the choice, I think that was a when you put that book in my hand, and because I never read to improve. I just read because I had to do something.
Yeah.
You put it in that way. You said, what did you say? You said something along the lines of like, don't let that be the reason you're still the same dude.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to read a book. And I was like, I'll read this then.
I won't line up against you physically, but
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. But like, dude, that was kind of the principles that I got in the book.
Right. Yeah.
Is what, you know what I mean? And you know, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget you pushing me that little extra. It's almost like you read what button I can push to get this dude to read, to read the book.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's
if you didn't say that, I wouldn't have read it.
Huh? Yeah. Just that little like, I'm gonna throw a challenge down. Let's go.
Yeah. You were Arthur Dong for a second. What you trying to do over here?
That's so funny.
No, that was the Slight Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was
it
was a good.
That's a good book.
That was a good foray into just wanting to be more knowledgeable about how the world works, how you work, and what are principles that can can take you towards that direction. And it's not big. It's just daily choices and decisions.
Yep.
You make daily.
So coming full circle with that.
Yeah.
So the reason I was curious about that story is because I think you're going back to your the huddle, right? And the story of perseverance, you being able to, we had to think about it for a while, but now it's like, okay, like that story, dude, if you like encapsulated that story and that became the teaching, let me tell you about perseverance.
Yeah.
And then being an undersized kid, you know, and get my butt kicked and then having this thing in my head. Because then it ties back to a lot of things that we talked about, like anxiety, doubt. Like, here's why people don't persevere sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they think they can't or they're inadequate, whatever. And then realizing, like, what is that switch? And then the other piece of it, like you said, you had some mentors, you had some people. Like, it's all ties these things together, right, man? So then it's okay, but I had an example. It's like, okay, I just need to be like that guy. So in the same way, like, who's that person that you're like, oh, I could be more like that? Yeah. And then finally, when you say like, then it became easy for me to line up on a football field and hit somebody.
Yeah.
It was not easy for me to read a book, you know? I don't know, man. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the story in my mind. Like, man, if you encapsulate that into a story, then I think that, I don't know, like that could have some real power. Cause then I think kids are going to listen to it.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally like do a selfie video on a football field talking about being 6th grade Ray.
Yeah.
Getting your butt kicked.
I like that.
You know what I mean? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, that gets people's attention.
Right.
Then they're like, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good idea.
Yeah. I don't know. But even like the assembly thing, because I think that maybe it's just me and you, but maybe that's one of our podcasts. Like every month when, you're like, hey, we're going to talk about courage in December. It's like, great. Let's figure out courage real quick. Like what are the things, you know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe draw those stories out. I don't know. Yeah. I think people just learn better.
I do.
Yeah. I do. And as you're telling the story, I'm like, you know, like I'm locked in. I'm sure there's 12-year-olds or 13-year-old kids, especially if they're football players. They're like,
Right.
How did you become, who you became,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always grateful to Arthur.
Yeah.
Just this like stocky Vietnamese kid, man. Reckon I had a hard head. And he would just lay in
Knock it off, Arthur.
all the time, man. And yeah, that's what I said. We're done.
Yeah. He's like, okay, all right.
He's like, oh, yeah, that's it, man.
That was the last time.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard for you to get through me now.
Yeah. You pissed me off, Arthur.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, because I don't know how people learn perseverance besides doing hard stuff.
It's the only way to do it.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
it's no other way.
Yeah. But I like to think of having the model. It's like somebody, they can see like, oh, well, that guy's still going. I guess I can keep going. Yeah. I had kids on my basketball team that I'm just like, you are not talented. You don't understand the game. You're not good. But you're going to just keep freaking going. Okay. Like, I guess I can keep up with you because, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's part of it too. Yeah. Because I was trying to think for myself, like, where did like perseverance?
That's what I was about to ask you.
Go ahead and ask me that.
No, go for it, man.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like, where did I...
Dude, you used to tell me stories about how like you were, that you had stranger danger. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And here you. That's why when I asked you about the whole, like, dude, are you still scared?
Oh, that's why. I was like,
I know.
Yeah, because that was such a big part of me. Yeah, that's so funny. I guess I had to put the two together. I'm like, no, it's just walking in and meeting new people. Not a big thing.
Well, people see the polished you now.
That's true. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Because I was thinking like physical perseverance, I think I learned as a kid because my dad, I went backpacking for the first time with my dad when I was 6, and it was 3 miles and then another 3 miles. But it was, it was a long trip for a 6-year-old. Like that's a long time. And then you're in the wilderness and you're just with a bunch of dudes and you just learn like, oh, like this sucks, but we're going to keep going. Right. So if I do, it was funny. I was actually, when I was here last time and I was just hanging out in Bozeman, waiting for my flight, and I went and found some trail by the river or something. And it was just kind of a funny, I was like, yeah, of all the things that I know how to do, being outside, I'm actually really good at. Like I've spent so much time outdoors doing things. Yeah. I think I told you that in one of the podcasts where some friends are like, dude, I would never do that. Like I would never, hike. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's not weird for me because I've done it so many times. Done it a lot. Like same with like, getting on stage or playing football or whatever. And I guess that's probably true with because when I tell people that, a lot of times they don't believe me, that I was so scared. I could not engage in conversation with new people. Mm-hmm. And I just felt, I remember even my wife was in this is really embarrassing. So she's going to Carroll, right? And in the nursing program, and a lot of her friends were going out to go bowling or something like that. And so I show up and it's just, I don't know, there's probably a dozen college kids and I'm feeling so just like out of sorts that I literally just like left and I went for a run. Like, and I'm in like, this is winter time. I've got like my boots and, jeans on. I just could not handle the social situation. Sure. Like it was just too much. Like really, it was too much to just hang out with 12 college kids. Yeah, that was too much for me. Which is crazy. Right? I mean, so then
it is crazy to me.
So when you say like, is that nervous for you? I'm like, no, but that was 20 years ago, right? So things have changed. But it was also the pushing myself and the perseverance thing. Yeah. So I did this talk with Andrea Beam a few weeks ago, and we talked about like, what's your push-up? Like, what's that one thing that you just need to do every day? And so for me, it was, because for her, she was talking about hers was, as we were preparing for this talk, we talked about, that was mine, was I need to go meet a new friend every day. Yeah. Doesn't mean a good buddy means I need to read a name tag and say hi. But it got me out of that comfort zone. And for her, she had somebody else in a different way, but basically challenged her for the same thing. But hers was more like posting on social media and being more like known, in social media and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So she did the same thing. It was like 14 months or something that she's like, yeah, I just did it every day just because I had to do it. Like it was something I was scared of, took courage, did it anyway. Yeah. And so now it's kind of second nature almost. to
You've
be
acquired so much skill in
so
your
much
experience.
Yeah.
Your daily experiences. Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because I'm trying to think like, what are the things that I need to persevere in now that I'm not doing? And it's not like work necessarily, because I know how to persevere in work, and it's not like the same with like being outside. Like when me and Peyton went to, the Andes a couple months ago, it was the same thing. Like you've been in so many situations.
You're comfortable in that.
Yeah. And it's, we're tired. Yeah, we can't breathe. Yeah, got a headache. But right, you've got the same thing. Like you've just done enough reps that it's not a thing. I mean, honestly, maybe this podcast is one of those things where it's like it can get wearing. It's weird. It's a weird thing because when people are like, yeah, podcasting is a lot of work. It's like, yeah, not really. Like it's not hard to hang out with Ray and talk.
Yeah.
But it's all the other, like you have to fit it in and make it an intentional part of your life, because your life, there's so many things going on, right? Coaching football and being a dad and being a husband and
bro. There's a couple times when we had it scheduled on 5, and I know, and the driving force behind me was like, this dude had to get an hour earlier than me. But up, dude.
It's so funny.
I was just waiting for you to say that. If I said something, I'd be like
dude, don't even go there. Because Anna, my alarm would go off at 4:15 on Tuesday mornings to record podcasts, and she's like, "Why are you getting up?" I was like, "It's Tuesday." She goes, "Okay, say hi to Ray." And I get up and shower and I try to be quiet, but I was never quiet and woke her up.
Right.
And then Tuesday nights, then Peyton does Civil Air Patrol in Eugene, which is an hour away from us, and that doesn't get till 9. So basically, like I'm up from 4, and then we get home from that at 10. I'm in bed by 11, something like that. So those are, Tuesdays are long days for me.
Yeah,
but, and then all the meetings that I stack in on Tuesdays. But I don't know. That's interesting. Like, what are the it's not like I don't know. That's a good question. For me, honestly, like being, I until we started going to this church that I'm at now, like I hadn't really been part of a church for years.
Yeah.
When we lived in Seattle, we went to a couple different churches and kind of the same thing. Like didn't really feel like I fit. And then
the church family you're looking, like you didn't feel like a church family.
Yeah. And it was, and I don't know, it's such a weird thing because growing up in the church, I didn't have any options. Right. I go to my parents' church, right? That's when you're a kid and you just go. So I didn't experience a whole lot of other churches. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I did because we went to different churches and stuff, but then when we moved to Seattle, and it was like, okay, well, there's 4 million people here. That's way out of my comfort zone. Growing up in Colstrip, Montana. And then where do we go? And how do I fit? And where's is it community I'm looking for? Is it a worship experience I'm looking for? Is it teaching? You know what I mean? Like, it's just an interesting, experiment where I'm like going to different places. I'm like, I don't really I don't know. And it's weird because until I experienced it for myself, and it's even hard, even to explain to my dad, which is, my dad being a pastor. And he's like, well, what is it? I'm like, I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I could be like, I can't quite put my finger on it. But it took me, so anyway, so we're in Seattle. And then it was March of that year that all of a sudden we met a couple, went to a Super Bowl party. It was a church thing. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, I like this. Not just the small group of people, but then going to the bigger church and they did a business conference, all this stuff. I'm like, oh man, I fit here. This just feels really good. And that was March. And then I moved in May. So I was like, dang it. And then same when we moved to Corvallis, the Corvallis area is, and part of it is, I'd really get nervous going to churches. And maybe maybe it's because I went to church so much growing up that it was kind of like, I know how the sausage is made, probably a bad analogy, but you know what I'm saying? I know what goes on and I'm, I don't know what it is. So anyway, so then we started going to this church in Corvallis. I was like, okay, I kind of like this church. And then we were there, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. And then the group of elders get on stage. And I'm like, I know where this is going. The pastor failed morally, sure enough. Had a girlfriend outside of his family and blew things up and whatever. So we were there for a little while, but it was kind of like, okay. But I never connected really with a group there either, right? Yeah. And I know part of that's on me, whatever. COVID happened. Oregon was stupid. You couldn't do anything, go anywhere. And so we
still get weed.
What's that?
I'm sure you still get weed.
Oh,
Just kidding.
It is mandatory. In fact, there's lots of churches you can probably get it there.
That holy weed.
That's right. Yeah, Holy Spirit and ganja. But yeah, then I don't know, for whatever reason it was just and then we found a church and we were kind of going there, but it was kind of the same thing. Like I'd show up and my kids enjoyed being there, but it was like, man, it was difficult for me to be there. Like I would get kind of back to that like stranger danger anxiety where I'm like, oh, like why do I go to church? This is not helping me. In fact, it's just pissing me off. Like every time I'm here, and it was just weird. Like, and the hard thing is there's nothing I like point to. If that makes sense. Yeah. You know,
it's just your spirit wasn't right.
I don't know. Yeah. And that's the weirdest thing. Because it's like, man, do I have friends that go to the church? Oh yeah, lots. And I love them. And the pastor's a great guy. Like his superpower is the ability to connect with people like one-on-one. I mean, great guy. Nice. So it was my deal. You know what I mean? Like it was my deal. So, but now that we've been going to this church, it was kind of the same thing. Like I didn't want to go, you know, at first. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then the more, did you listen to that sermon, by the way? Listen to you?
Right after talking about Charlie Kirk?
Yeah. And it was just kind of this like, okay, I guess it's the same way like I connect so well with Erwin. Like I could go to Mosaic any day of the week and be like, okay, I'm here. You know, I'm comfortable. I can do this. So I don't know. It's weird. It is a weird thing. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, so we started going to this church and that was probably a big perseverance thing for me because I kept wanting to disengage. I didn't want to. And that was the other thing too. And even with my parents, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to go to church. Like I have no desire. Like and it was weird. And it doesn't mean like I haven't thrown out my faith in Jesus. But it's the like, why is this so difficult for me? And I could go, you know, one and be like, okay, well, Satan doesn't make a good church. I'm like, yeah, that's not it. Like some people, yeah, that's probably true, but that's not this scenario because now I don't know. I feel it's been interesting because I said, okay, well, I can start getting involved a little bit, which is why I didn't play music for a long time. Because it's like I don't really fit here. I don't really want to promote a lot of churches. It sounds really bad. But there's a lot of churches I don't necessarily want to. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But I guess we were talking about perseverance. I was like, yeah, that was something that I felt like I kept having to, because I'd even like write my goals for the year. Yeah. And there'd be goals I write down like, I want in a year or 2 or 3 years from now, like I want my kids to be part of a community of faith that they really desire to be a part of, right? Where we can actually like grow together. And I could not find that group for whatever reason. So I don't know.
It's tough, man. Like, I mean, it is like when
popular guy.
Tell me, dude. Sorry, man.
You're good. All good, buddy. More spam calls.
Yeah, I sell you a boat. Potential spam.
Potential spam. Yeah.
No, like, yeah. Even when I don't know how we got to the point where we explored different churches coming from the church where you grew up in, and like that was hard too, man. Like
bet.
Just and we never. I don't know if we even settled into the church we're in now. It doesn't feel the same. Still, like. I told you a couple podcasts ago about my son finding his faith too, and
super cool.
Yeah, really, it's really good. But like whenever we go there, the sermons are full of energy and they're really good. But I get the same feel. I can't pinpoint what it is that. Now we're going back to the same one, our same church, right? Like Life Point, and I don't know. Is it a me thing? Like. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, I think the only thing I could like. So when I first saw Erwin McManus speak, when I met him, 2008, something like that, when I was still a youth pastor, and he was speaking at this conference, and somebody said he was still pretty edgy in the church world back in the day. Like now he's mainstream because he's kind of like made it. But
we know the edge.
Yeah. But at the time, because he said something about how he's like, he said, I usually tell people that, it was something like, how can you do this? Because you call yourself a Christian. And he's like, well, I would say that I'm a reluctant Christian. He said, because as soon as I call myself a Christian, I'm automatically associating myself with everybody else in time and history that has called themselves a Christian. He said, if we can be honest, like the Crusades weren't the best of us. Like that was not a good time of history. But kind of the I guess the point from that was, like I was saying, where is there a place that I could promote? Because I have no problem with Jesus, but it's a lot of times the message of Jesus gets so cliched that it loses the power, right? It loses what it means to be. And so, which is probably why I appreciate Erwin so much, is because he's able to, he comes at it from a different viewpoint and the ability to communicate it to somebody that knows nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, it's like, okay, I have, like, this was a very well thought out argument around whatever the topic is. Yeah. Because he's assuming, he's not coming from a standpoint of like, I'm assuming that the audience is Christian. He's actually coming from a standpoint of like, I'm going to assume that you don't know anything. And let me explain the simplicity and the beauty of Jesus from this lens. Yeah. Right. And so,
pretty good.
Yeah. And so I think that's probably part of it, is a lot of churches that I go to, I'm like, man, I have a hard time promoting this because it feels just like just regurgitated cliches. Yeah. Maybe that's me. And so that's probably why I appreciate our pastor now, because, man, it's every Sunday it's just like, man, he has a very similar bent in the way that he communicates Jesus to people. Nice. Not from a like, here's a bunch of cliches, but it's really hard to find cliches when he speaks, right? And he communicates in such a way, like he just did this whole series on the Apostles' Creed, which is just absolutely fascinating. He was talking about basically the same thing, like, yeah, there were some terrible spots of history, but this is the thing that has tied all of Christianity together. And regardless of where you are in the world, like, these are the core tenets we believe, whether you're Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox or whatever. And so this is the main thing. Yeah. Like, and this is what it means. Like, here's the depth of what this means. So I don't know. And so it's kind of like, man, yeah, I would be ecstatic if my friends came to church with me. Nice. Does that make sense? Yeah, versus there's a lot of times they're like, yeah, I go to church, but I don't want to go. Why would I convince you to go with me? You know? So I don't know. Maybe I don't know what that is, but that's the thing that I feel like I've pinpointed a little bit, where it's like, I'm a promoter, not a detractor.
Gotcha.
You know, and not just a participant. So I don't know.
I like that. I like the way you put that. Yeah. I mean,
because it was fun. I guess even going a layer deeper there. So I won't tell you. One of my friends, he's like, yeah, I mean, grew up very, Christian, stoic, like, this is what we do. And it was kind of like this, and I was having this conversation, and he was just kind of like, I thought church is just something you did because you had to do it. Like, I go to church every Sunday and make my kids do it because that's just what you do as a Christian. I was like, yeah, I guess so. I guess it's the suffering of Christ. I guess maybe is that it? I don't know. It was interesting. I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate that stoicism and that, like, well, we're going to persevere and we're going to do this regardless of whatever. And I don't even care if we like it and maybe it's just because, like I said, like I kind of saw how the sausage was made, and I've got a lot of friends that are pastors, and they're just people. Yeah. The church is just full of a bunch of broken people, just like me. So, I'm not really that interested in programs. I'm really not that, I got a lot going on in my life. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yes. That sounds bad. That sounds bad when I say it out loud.
You also have, you have priorities in your life too. And I know that, you prioritize your relationship with the Lord, and it just looks different. It looks different from how other people, perceive what the church is, right? Yeah. It's I mean, I was there too. I thought about church as this is just what we did. Yeah. Instead of going to church because I want to get fed. Yeah. You know what I mean? I need to know about Jesus more. Yeah. Right. I need some revelation. Right. Revelation that I haven't found in my own personal time with the Lord. And all of a sudden there's this prompting in my heart to be like, why don't you perk up and listen this week? And there's some weeks where, I understand the message and I'm like, oh, that was really good. And I'm actually in the car going, man, that was a really good message. And then there's times when I get in the car and go, okay, what are we going to eat? So
Yeah.
I don't think there's a perfect way to. No church is perfect. And it's just
No, but I think for me, I think we were talking about that perseverance thing. Like it's been an interesting because like probably a year and a half ago, I dreaded going to church. Like it was a dread, and now it's almost like a reverse where I'm like, we're gonna miss a Sunday, and I'm like, I don't want to miss. Like I want to be there.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of this. So whatever that is, like that's I think the magic, right? It's the same thing. Like it's like. I'm spending more time at church because now I'm volunteering and I'm worship team practice. You know what I mean? Like I'm spending more time, but there's a different desire to be a part of it rather than just like because I have to.
Well, you said you're a homeowner now.
Yeah,
and like you bought in.
Yeah.
Is that even right?
That's good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's the same. And I think that's what even we were talking about, like with the huddle and teachers and stuff like that. It's like how do we get that buy-in where it's like I have to be here to like, oh, I get it. I want to be here. Or like, do I have to be in this classroom or I want to? Because there were some teachers like I was excited. I hated English class, but I had an English teacher. It was the first period and nobody wanted to be tardy. They didn't. Like it was like he was so good. And it wasn't like he was goofy. He was also my basketball coach and he was a hard ass. But it was that, you know what I mean? Like, but it just had that, he just struck that balance where it's like, okay, this is the type of like General Patton that you want to follow to war, right? And you're just like, okay.
Commanded respect.
Yeah, commanded respect and people, but also you knew like he genuinely did care about you.
Right.
And he was going to push you because he cared about you. And so it was, I don't know, like me personally, I want to unlock more of that in myself, right? Because that's the kind of person that I want to be, type of leader I want to be where people are like, okay, yeah, Jason said this and we don't want to be late. We want to be there. We want to be locked in because we're going somewhere.
I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we're going with that.
I don't know. I like it.
Back to the school assembly thing where it's like, man,
I like it though.
Yeah. Because I think that's maybe the thing that unlocks perseverance, right? You have to do hard things, but there has to be the desire, whatever the desire was in football for you, had to unlock stuff. And maybe like your second round of school, that was a desire, but because that was a mind shift that happened in you, where you're like, oh, okay, like I read books to get better, not because I have to.
Yes, that's certainly the shift. I was thinking as we were talking about, the things that you've persevered through and the stranger danger, like. Is there anything like family wise, like personal life that that you're looking that you need to persevere in?
That's a good question. Yeah.
When we talk about being a dad and all that stuff a lot.
Because I think about like that doesn't seem like persevering necessarily to me. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a because
we'll expand on that.
I was gonna say sometimes it is wearing. Like sometimes it's right, and kids are just kids sometimes. I don't know, but it's not necessarily it doesn't seem like it's kind of the old school. People would say that kids are meant to be seen, not heard. And it was really like a detachment, not really a relationship. And for me, that's a good question. Like I don't know if it's perseverance. I think the thing that I feel like I need to do more with my kids, especially my little list right now, is teach them about perseverance. Like put them in going with Peyton and doing hard things in Civil Air Patrol and being like, great, we got to go. Like you've got to pass this physical fitness test in order to rank up. Looks like we're doing push-ups. Looks like we're gonna have to get stronger. And then with Torrin, what was just last night? So Extreme Ownership, Jocko Willink. You read that? Okay, yeah. So then he also wrote some books like the Warrior Kid series.
I have them.
Yeah, they're good. And so Moosey's been reading them right now, and they were reading last night. And then Anna was, I'm like, oh yeah, you could be Warrior Kid. And he's like, yeah. He goes, well. Yeah, except for working hard. And Anna's like, Anna's like, no, Daddy's a hard worker. Like you can learn to be hard. He's like, Yeah, I don't want to. It's like, all right, well, appreciate your candor, 6-year-old, but you're gonna have to learn to work, buddy. Like, but he hates it every time. But right. So I think it's me. So maybe that's why I'm like, I don't feel like it's perseverance for me necessarily. But and we've talked about this before too, where there's a lot of things that I do, like around the house, like, I spent hours the other day, like moving firewood and burning stuff and, doing stuff like that. And because it's not because I need to do it, but I need my kids to see me do it.
Yeah.
And I need, you know what I mean? Like, I need them to see what it means to work hard and to do stuff.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this. What does perseverance mean to you?
Ooh. Yeah. I think,
because we tie perseverance to working hard.
Yeah. I think perseverance is, it's, in my mind, it's like continuing to do the thing that you know that you're supposed to do, even though you don't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Which is, it could be school. It could be, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm thinking, like, man, it's like, it doesn't feel like a labor to parent, although it's work.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't feel like I have to like persevere or be married or, like there's, the thing for me is finishing. So if I go back to the, full circle, like the widget conversation of like getting to the the tenacity, I joke with people, like when I wrote my book, the first 80% of it was so much fun. The last 20% I thought was going to kill me. You're giving it to editors and they're like redlining it and like, no, I should redo this. I don't care. I already did the work. Like, do you know the grammar rules? No. Hey, you should have a stronger intro. How should you phrase this? I'm like, Right. So for me, the perseverance is, I know I have to finish it and I know I have to get across the finish line. So I have to keep going. Like I have to keep going. So, and I think that's a habit, honestly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like perseverance just kind of becomes, a habit where you're like, okay, I just have to finish.
Yeah, it almost dips into like consistency.
Yeah. Well, what about you? Yeah. So what's your definition of perseverance?
I mean, very similar.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, continuing on to like a certain goal that you have, regardless of the obstacles that come your way, and just really just overcoming them.